Hello and welcome to Two Sides of New York. This is Reed and Cross with another podcast coming your way. Today we got some mostly MLB news along with some Antonio Brown drama and a little hockey news. A little Two Sides of New York. We have some big hockey news within the group, me and Cross, but we'll get into that last. So first, let's get into our baseball news of the week. Mike Moustakas signs a 1-year deal with the Milwaukee Brewers for $10 million mutual option for 2020. I mean, he kind of looks a little silly here because he turned down a qualifying offer, which was for, I believe, $15 million at the end of the season.
Yeah, poor guy. Moose, for the last couple of years, he's been on the fringe of getting a big deal, but then at the end just falling through and getting something really small. He's definitely one of those guys that deserves to get paid, that hasn't get paid, and I kind of feel for him, even though I do have some, sour feelings for him because he was a Royal. Don't fuck with the Royals.
Yeah, and he was coming at your boy.
Yeah, no, would have fucked him up. We all know, but I feel bad for him because he's been on the fringe. And he's had his last couple years have been really good. His power numbers are really up there with the top third baseman in baseball. And
he's clutch.
Yeah, he's clutch. That $10 million, that's not doing him any justice, though.
Yeah, and he definitely he brings a lot to the clubhouse. I feel like he has that real scrapper mentality. Like, he doesn't mess around. You can tell he doesn't take bullshit. I mean, like you saw in the World Series and when he got hit by Rondon in 2017, he'll charge them out and he'll be that guy who's going to fight for your team.
Yeah, he's definitely a no-nonsense guy. And the Brewers lineup is looking stacked again. I think they're definitely the favorites to take the Central.
Oh, definitely. I don't think it'll be by a big margin because I think the Cardinals are going to take a leap and compete for that. Just because Goldschmidt is a game-changing player and one of the best players in baseball, which I know he's been to a lot of All-Star games. I think he's a little underrated just because I just feel like he doesn't get the hype that, like, Judge and Harper and Mookie Betts and all those guys get because he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think Josh Hader thinks of this? It's so funny, Josh Hader, how we just forget about how he's a racist.
Yeah, well, dude, I mean, personally, those guys were kids when they tweeted that. I mean, I know Josh Hader's was pretty bad, but still, I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't think that now, but...
Well, I mean, he's got a camo glove, he's always got that fat lip in his mouth, he's definitely a redneck.
Yeah, he's a redneck, but I'm sure him and Zoe Kane are pretty cool, and, I don't know. I'm sure he apologized to who he needed to directly.
Oh yeah, I'm sure him and Mad Bum would probably get along.
Oh, Madison. Yeah. I don't think he likes Yasiel Puig very much.
Oh no. Staying in the speaking of Puig, well, Puig's not in the West anymore, but going to the West. Bruce Bochy set to retire after this season. One of the best managers of all time, and so underrated how it's not talked about how he is, but he's definitely one of the best managers of all time.
Oh yeah, he's headed right to the Hall of Fame when he's eligible. He's the best manager of this decade by far. I mean, he's got 3 world championships, and he did it in 5 years too. And I think he's tied with 2 other managers for the second most for a manager since the what do you call it? The
Live ball era?
Yeah, live ball. Not the live ball era. What's the second one called? The one since 65 or 69, something like that. The expansion. The expansion.
Expansion.
Yeah, I think him, Tony La Russa. I didn't know who the third was. And then Joe Torre is first with 4. So that's obviously well within Hall of Fame.
And if you look at those Giants teams, they had Buster Posey and those really good pitching staffs. But other than that, they weren't really like powerhouse teams. And
they weren't. No.
Yeah, they were like one of those scrappy teams who were just fighting to the that will fight to the last out, and they came up on top 3 times, which is just incredible to see.
They came up in clutch situations. The hitters. Buster Posey had that incredible 2012 MVP season. But I can agree that in every single World Series they were in, I think a lot of people thought they weren't going to win.
Yeah. Hopefully for him, the Giants could muster out a couple wins because you don't want to see him go out with a stinker on his last year, especially how great he's been throughout his entire career with the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I hope they could finish fourth, but I don't know. We'll see what the Padres do if they take a step in the right direction with their good farm system. But it looks like it's going to be another rough year for the Giants.
Yeah, Padres. I think the Padres got their pitching. The Padres pitching staff sucks. They do have some young guys that could that have some potential, but other than that, they really suck. They got good guys coming up. I think
you don't know what they're gonna do. That's the thing. You don't have any sure players. I mean, you got Hosmer, who had an awful year in his first year in San Diego.
I think if they go after Manny and they land him, that changes everything. I think they really got to pursue him.
I think that'd be a foolish move, in my opinion. You got Hosmer. You got the $182 million contract, and then you have to throw at least $300 at Manny if he's gonna sign there, because one, he doesn't play on the West Coast, or so. He's going to want at least $300, and for a team that's not on the verge of winning a World Series right now, to be paying two players that much a year, I just don't think in the long run that they'll be able to be a powerhouse if they want to be building this farm.
I think I agree with that. I think if they get Manny, though, I bet they sneak into a wild card. But even with Manny, they're not a World Series contending team, so I guess that would be a kind of a
one thing. If you can somehow you find someone who wants Hosmer long term, if you sign Manny, I would definitely flip Hosmer for some.
Yeah, but you got to have Hosmer with Manny for it to work. You can't have Manny just leading that team.
Well, I'm saying you would just turn that into something else, like pitching. Yeah. You know how their pitching is really weak. Get like mid flight reliever, like not a reliever, a starter, like. Not someone who's an ace, but a good solid too, like a Patrick Corbin or someone like that.
Like a Zach Wheeler?
I mean, maybe someone a little more proven than Zach Wheeler.
Zach Wheeler's not proven.
I mean, he's good, but I mean, I'm just saying, I'm saying like a number 2, you know, like a.
Okay. Zach Wheeler could be a good number 2 on a lot of teams.
I'm saying. So maybe you put in some prospects and maybe you offer him for Strasburg.
All right. Let's talk about the other big free agents who who doesn't have a place.
I mean, rumors since you got Heyman and Rosenthal. Rosenthal says he hasn't really heard any action until now. So is Bryce heading to the Phillies?
I think he is.
I've been seeing him in that uniform all off season.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a Philly. It's just a matter of time now. He's a pussy.
He is a pussy. Like, I mean, you're going to leave the Nats and you're not even going to go to a team outside of the division, let alone different, like, colors. You're going to stick with red? Like,
exactly.
Dude, change it up if you're going to leave the Nats. He should have just stayed with the Nats, to be honest.
What a puss. I bet that Phillies team with Bryce Harper won't even make the playoffs. You look at
I wouldn't say that.
Why though? Let's.
All right. What type of year does Bryce have? Does he have? If he's the best player on that team, they will make the playoffs.
I think he will be the best player on the team. I think
they'll make the playoffs. I
think he's gonna have a bounce back year. But what else? You think Royce Hopkins? I think Royce Hopkins sucks.
Okay. Royce Hopkins, that kid can hit. He was the fastest to 18 home runs to start an MLB career. I mean, there's no question when he's on the tear. He's a dangerous hitter.
Yeah, but I've also seen him when he's cold. And when he first came up, that first week, well, I mean, it was his first week. But even last year at the beginning of the year, he was ice cold. And when he's cold, he just can't hit for shit.
Yeah, he does. I've seen him crack a few times. During the Yankees-Phillies series last year, he struck out. And a fan was yelling at him, and he got out, and he yelled right at him, too. And he was like... You hit, so. But they got Gene Segura.
Gene Segura, JT Realmuto.
Kutch, he's not what he used to be, but he's still a pretty solid hitter.
Yeah, no.
He can work the count. I mean, not fielding-wise, he's not what he used to be, but he's a good leadoff hitter still. They got Real Muto. I mean, I just think there's too much talent. You got Aaron Nola. Maybe trade for a pitcher. I don't know. I mean, I can't see them not being competitive if they land Harper. As it is now, I think they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, they got Jake Arrieta still too. So yeah, I guess with Harper, they'd be a very good team. Probably win the division in the East, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely Harper. He's a game changer. Depends how their bullpen is. I think.
I could see the East going like. I could see.
If they sign Harper and Kimbrel, I give them the East.
Yeah, you think Kimbrel's gonna go to Philly too?
I mean, what I'm hearing from all the news on MLB Network and like all Ket Rosenthal and Heyman, they don't think he's going back to the Sox. So.
Oh, I think he's going to the Braves.
Yeah, I know that's what I thought from the start, but I feel like it would have happened already.
Yeah, but the NL East is really crowded.
Yeah, NL East and the NL Central are both really good. Those depends what the Pirates can do and the Reds. If they both can take big steps, the NL is going to be really exciting. And I don't think the Dodgers are going to be what they were the last 2 years. They very well could come out in the West, but I don't think it's going to be easy. Well, I mean, it wasn't easy last year. They weren't in first until September, so.
Yeah, but that division got weaker and weaker as the year went on.
Exactly. I mean, the Rockies definitely are going to take a step back, along with the Diamondbacks.
You think the Rockies are going to take a step back?
I mean, I guess with the Diamondbacks with the Diamondbacks taking a step back, I guess we can say that the Rockies probably will move a little bit forward. But I mean, they lost a lot of their talented players.
They also gained a still talented Daniel Murphy, though.
That's true. Yeah, they replaced with LeMahieu with Murphy.
I think, I think the Rockies. I could see them winning the West.
I mean, I hope so. Their Rockies are a very likable team, so
yeah,
they always have been. I think it's kind of funny that they've only been around since '93, but they have the most batting titles won by a player.
Well, I mean, course.
But what I'll say is the road splits are really bad, but if they ever leave, like if they go to another team, then road numbers go up dramatically. So,
did you see Chuck Nasty on LB Network the other day?
I usually see him when he's on. He's hilarious when he's on.
I believe he was 32 in the top 100.
Yeah.
So they were asking him. He said they're like, Shredder got you at number 32, and he was like, "Oh, to be honest, I think your Shredder is drunk 90% of the time."
He's back, dude. I mean, that Shredder, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, the Shredder's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's an idiot. It's probably run by Brian Kenny himself.
But Shredder was right about Jed Lowry being the second baseman in baseball.
And also, it was right about Aaron Judge being the best right fielder in all of baseball.
Wrong. Did Aaron Judge win MVP? Did Aaron Judge win MVP?
I mean, by how the stats go, by the time he's at Mookie's year, I think he'll have 2 or 3. I'm just kidding. I think this is the year for All Rise.
Is he your MVP?
He is. He is my MVP. Him or your favorite, McCarlo.
Your way too early prediction for MVP?
MVP, I'm way too early. I mean, just obviously my favorite guy, but I do think I think Judge is going to prove the world wrong, and I think he's going to hit over 300 this year. He might only hit 32, 33 home runs, maybe 20 under 30, but I think Judge is going to hit over 300.
Maybe.
Just what I saw in the playoffs and at the end of the season, he wasn't trying to smash it every time. And just the whole 2018 season, I just felt like he wasn't chasing that outside pitch. He was working his walks. He was just trying to put the ball in play because he hits it so hard that an infield grounder could be a hit so easily.
I'll give Judge this. Since from when he got called up to now, his eye has got significantly better. He used to chase everything, and even not last year, the year before, he would strike out like he had that record for consecutive games with a strikeout.
Yeah, you didn't see that in 2018 really.
Yeah, last year he was much better cutting down the strikeouts, and it was, I'll admit, it was very impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, even though he had the numbers in 2017, I just felt like if you look at the 2017 ALDS and then you look at the 2018, it's a completely different player. He looked totally just nervous in that. Even though they won in 2017 and lost in 2018, he was significantly a better player in the 2018.
Do you think Joey Gallo has any chance of doing that? Because if Joey Gallo cuts down strikeouts, he's definitely up there with Aaron Judge. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's true, but people act like Aaron Judge strikes out a lot and hits like 240 and 250. He still hits like 280, 290, even with the strikeouts. I don't think Gallo will be nearly as the complete hitter Judge is, but I definitely think the way how hard Gallo hits it and can launch it, he can definitely put that average up if he cuts down on the strikeouts.
Yeah, I think Gallo is going to continue to be a great power hitter, but I just don't think he'll like put it together and be like an all-around good hitter.
Yeah, you also Judge. You just look at him in the field; he's just a much more complete player than Gallo. Nothing away from Gallo. He can really swing, and I think he could hit maybe 300 to 400 in this league, and it'd be a good DH for any team. I honestly can see him with the Mets.
Who, Joey Gallo?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just could. I could see him when the NL implements the DH. I can see you guys making some moves.
Yeah, but there's no. He needs to be a DH because there's just nowhere to put Gallo in the field, and I think that's such an underrated thing. Like if you can't play the field, like there's really no spot for you in the National League because that glove. You've seen it. Like the Mets had Jose Bautista playing right field when Jacob deGrom was pitching last year, dropping fly balls with 2 outs to let runs come in. You got to know how to field if you want to play in the National League.
Yeah, no, definitely you gotta field well.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate though
that was a big problem with the Yankees last year. They made a lot of blunders. I mean, obviously you have a kid of 22 and 20 in the infield. You're gonna have that, so that's also gonna be important with my team this year. Is they gotta improve on the defense. I mean, the outfield is great. We have a great outfield defensively. Just infield corners need to shape it up a little bit. And Duhar, but I got faith in Miggy. Yeah, I think he's gonna show significant improvement this year. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully he doesn't double clutch. That's really what the problem is.
Another problem was Greg Bird just dropping balls.
I know Andujar should have made that throw, but in that horrible night of the sweep in August. Bird needs to come up with that scoop.
Bird.
It's going to be interesting with Bird because, I don't know, I mean, I feel bad for the guy even though he said some stupid shit. But then, I want him to succeed and I want him to make a comeback. But how can you not love that guy, Luke Voigt? So, it's hard. It's hard when you got a heart.
Speaking of guys that you love and want to see have a comeback, Matt Harvey looks like he's in really good shape, but
he pulled his butt cross. What are you talking about?
I know, but I was saying before that, he looked like he was in really good shape, and then while he was stretching, he gets injured. He pulls his fucking asshole or whatever the fuck
he pulled his butt. Man, that's just so... I'm sorry, but I feel like Matt Harvey's just one of those people who has rotten luck.
Yeah, he does. On the bright side for him, he's in L.A. He's probably doing coke off a stripper's asshole.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Sniffing the butt and everything. Like, the fuck, Matt Harvey.
Fucking Matt Harvey.
But,
you think we'll ever see a good year from Matt Harvey again? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I can see him not in the league by, 2021. Or, no, I can see him not in... If things don't go well this year, this could be it. I'm sorry. I mean, he could, pitch in a year or two, but I don't think he'd be on a roster next season, just on opening day, if he doesn't have a good season.
Mad Dog be like, I can see him playing for the Staten Island Ducks next year.
Yeah, I can see it be like, see, this is what happens when you are the New York Mets and you go to Derek Jeter's final game.
He should be in Cincinnati watching Wheeler pitch.
Harvey, the right-handed pitcher for the New York Mets.
Fucking angels.
But big news for my New York Yankees. Cross's hero of the day, Luis Severino, signed a 4-year extension worth $40 million with an option for a 5th year. For Severino, kind of gambles a little bit. When he's at his best, he's definitely worth more than $10 million a year. But for the Yankees, great deal to lock up your ace for only $10 million a year. And then he's celebrated by responding to a media question. Hello, Sevy. What do you think of Jacob deGrom's strategy to not have to have an innings limit, if not get an extension? And Severino was like, I would never do that. He's making $17 million. And Cross, your take.
I love how right when it was getting big, he walked it right back. He said, "Oh, I wasn't talking about Jacob deGrom." The fuck you mean he wasn't talking about Jacob deGrom? He's a little pussy. He's a mental midget. He's afraid of Jacob deGrom. He knows Jacob deGrom would fuck him up. Jacob deGrom is a 10 times better pitcher than Luis Severino. And yeah, the reason why you guys got Severino locked up because he's nowhere close to the level of Jacob deGrom.
Well, Jacob deGrom is 6 years older, so I mean, well, I'll see where Sevy is when he's 30, even though he's had glimpses of being the best pitcher in baseball. But he answered a question. What did you expect him to say?
I expected him not to talk about my team.
The media member was talking about your team and asked him a question, so he was just responding to the question.
All right, but you do not. You don't do like what he. Because what Jacob deGrom is doing is nothing. If the Mets are like how they are last year, why wouldn't Jacob deGrom ask for a innings limit? He wants to get paid, and if he doesn't want to be on a shitty baseball team, which the Mets could be, I'm really on the fence with the Mets here. I think they could be really good, or I think they'll be really shitty. But Jacob deGrom, he wants to get fucking paid.
Yeah, he wants to get paid, but how would you feel if you're a Mets fan and you're one game out of the division and deGrom can only go 5 innings because of his innings limit? How will that make you feel?
He wouldn't do that though. He would not put an innings limit on himself if the Mets are in it. The only way he'd put an innings limit on himself is if the Mets are far out, like they were last year. Other than that, there will be no innings limit for Jacob deGrom.
What I'm going to say is this is great for the people who want the teams to hate each other in New York, as much as the Met fans hate the Yankees. But yeah, I'm going to stand behind my ace and say, I like what he did. I love it.
You love that You loved how he walked it back once the heat started coming on him?
Heat's coming. No one made a big deal about it, but...
I'm making a deal out of it. Because Luis Severino he's now an overpaid piece of shit. Overpaid.
Dude, so overpaid. So I guess a full season of his first half is 270 strikeouts with a 2.01 ERA and about 24 wins. But I mean, you're just sleeping on a 24-year-old. But okay.
Okay, but what about that heavy 6+ ERA? In the
How about that 24-year-old? I mean, by the time he's Jacob's age, he'll probably be in the playoffs 10 times more than Jacob is, and that ERA could be down to maybe a modest 3.01. And hey, what was David Price's ERA? Like 12 in the playoffs? He's a hero now, isn't he? So Severino can go into the playoffs, throw up a 4-0, lead us to the World Series with a .91 ERA, and then you could say, hey, Jacob, how you like me now, baby? That's what I'm saying.
Well, Jacob deGrom, Luis Severino is not even on the same planet as Jacob deGrom right now. I'm not even okay. I got a little ahead of myself. I should have just brushed this off of what Luis Severino get. I don't know why I came down onto your guys' level. I should have just said "puh" to it.
Puh, I mean, a guy answers a question from the media. I mean, I think it's okay that he gave his honest opinion, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think Jacob should have said that. I think he should have kept that between him and the Mets. I don't think he should have brought that out to the media, so I think Sevy's right.
Okay, I'll agree with that. I agree with Jacob wanting an innings limit because he should. He has the right for that because
well, I
he's
mean, we all know what you were saying, that if it's close, he's not going to put an innings limit. And honestly, I think he's just saying that to get the extension. I don't think he's actually going to go through with that.
Of course, I believe that too, but it is something that should have been kept in-house. But as I was saying, back to Severino, I think if the Mets... I think if all the Mets pitchers are going right, and even if Sevy's going right, even if when he's hot too, I think Sevy would be he'd be a fourth starter on the Mets.
Okay, I mean, Sevy was the second best pitcher to DeGrom at the All-Star break, correct?
That's correct. Fell off a bit though.
Fell off a little bit, but he's young. I mean, I think each season he's going to be able to stay better, and I think he's going to be able to pitch you a full season very soon, if not this season. So I'm just saying, when he's at his hottest, a guy with a 2.01 ERA, I think DeGrom and Sevy would definitely be that rotation.
You know what doesn't help Sevy?
What?
Having Gary Sanchez behind the dish calling the game for him.
I wouldn't say that because the first half, Gary was healthy. In the second half, he wasn't healthy. And look at the numbers.
Okay, but we know that you'll admit it too. Gary does have some issues blocking. Tremendous arm.
But if you're talking about the playoffs and Severino pitching in the playoffs, Gary has not had one pass ball in his 13 playoff games.
Not including pass balls. Pitch-wise, do you think Gary Sanchez calls a good game?
I think he calls an excellent game. I really do. I think he calls a great game. I think the blocking is the only thing that prohibits him from being a Gold Glove catcher. Because he's got the best arm by far in the game. I think he calls a pretty good game. I just think Severino is just missing a little bit, and it's literally an inch or two, maybe even half an inch that he misses by, which makes him very hittable to unhittable.
As much as I hate Gary Sanchez and as much as I think his defense is poor, I think he's engaged with his pitchers. I think he does call a good game because you always see him. He's always coming out. He always comes out for the mound visits. He's always with the pitchers in between innings. I think he's got to clean up a few things, and I think he could be a good defensive catcher. Now, hitting on the other hand, he's just awful.
Okay, Cross. Awful hitter. I mean, I'm not going to let 188 average distract me from 53 home runs in your first 2 years with a batting average of those two seasons combined of about 285, hitting 299 his first year. And the guy had surgery in November, which was clearly the problem all season because he just was getting behind and wasn't catching up to that pitch. So to call Gary Sanchez a bad hitter is, as Stephen A. would say, blasphemous.
I mean, but you gotta admit 180's bad.
You gotta admit that 2 home runs in one game against the World Series champs is pretty good, right? In the playoffs.
That's pretty good. He did show up for the playoffs.
And he was he just missed sending us back to Fenway too in Game 4.
Well, if the wind was blowing out that night.
Yep. And if only they took Harvey out, right?
Exactly.
Right.
If they took Matt Harvey out, Mets would have won the World Series. They would have went into Kansas City. They would have took both those games, and it would be a different story. I wouldn't even be doing this podcast right now because I would be like, you know what? I'm done with sports. I seen my championship. I don't even care anymore. But no, Terry Collins, he gave in to Matt Harvey. And he said, all right, fucking go out there, and fucking Familia blew the rest, and Lucas Duda, fucking piece of shit.
Bad throw. Yep, and if Todd Frazier's bomb to center field was never robbed by George Springer, man, I would have had 28 back in 2017.
It was Rob. I think George Springer did a little acting job.
No. I texted you right then and there. I said, that wasn't that good of a catch. And you were like, yes, it is. That was an incredible catch. So don't go saying that wasn't a good catch.
It was a good catch, but I don't think it would have been a home run.
Not a home run, but the bases were juiced. Or there was like 2 on. It would have given us like a 1 or 2 run lead. And Chapman doesn't. Besides Game 7 when he was overworked, he doesn't blow it in the playoffs. So
how juiced we talking? Are we talking D. Gordon juiced, or are we talking Mike Carlo juiced?
I mean, one player is tiny and took steroids, and one player doesn't even need steroids, even like if he like lost an arm.
That's so funny how D. Gordon got popped for PEDs, his little ass.
What an idiot, dude. Why would you do that? Well, I don't know. That bat speed was quick, though, when he was on those PEDs.
Yeah, he was dangerous for a couple years with the Marlins, D. Gordon.
Yeah, no. I went to a game last year, and he has no power, dude, at all. He's fast as hell, though.
It was a great moment when he hit that home run.
Oh, I remember watching that live. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that gave me chills.
Oh yeah, that gave me chills too. It was off Big Sexy too.
Yep, off Big Sexy, gave him a nice one. He cranked that too.
Yeah, he did.
All right, so I think that's baseball talk. You got anything more to add?
Fucking bring the DH to the National League. It's not gonna happen.
No one make the Mets super dangerous if they put the DH in the NL and you guys went and got Chris Davis. We're talking K, obviously, not the one from Baltimore.
But you think they'd give him up?
I mean, I don't think the A's are going to make the playoffs this season. I'm just a firm believer in when you lose a wild card game, you're not making the playoffs the next year.
But yeah, the funny thing about the A's though, it's every time we say, "Oh no, they're not making the playoffs," they make the playoffs. But when we say they are making the playoffs, they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Or they are. Remember when people thought they were going to win the division last year?
I did. I'm not gonna lie.
And I was like, no, the Astros are gonna win, and you're like, nope,
they were fucking.
Dude, I would have been so tight because the Astros would have put JV out there, and he would have thrown a no hitter for the wild card game.
Yeah, there was that point of the season where the A's were red hot, and then the Astros they didn't win a series in was it 2 months or something like that? Yeah. Crazy like that?
Well, they were like us. They had their core players. They all went down. Springer, Altuve, Correa. They just had Bregman, and Bregman carried that team to that division. If they didn't have Bregman, the A's would have won that division.
Bregman? He's a Alex Bregman.
What'd you call him? He's a what?
He's a doofus.
How is he a doofus?
He just is.
He is not a doofus. He's the GOAT for that comment.
Did we talk about that last episode when he said, "Oh, I want a rivalry with Boston"?
He did. He just said he wants to beat Boston more than anyone.
And Boston's just like, man, who are you?
Bro, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with that comment.
I don't see anything wrong with it either, but
he just wants to beat the champ. I mean, I don't think that bullpen is looking sad, but I'm not going to talk about the champ just yet. But why don't you want to beat the champ more than anyone?
Where's Dallas Keuchel going?
Who the hell knows?
Where's Marwin Gonzalez going? I say they both stay in Houston.
You think?
No, they can't both stay in Houston. They both want a lot of money, especially Marwin.
What? I don't know why Keuchel is not an Angel right now.
Yeah, I could see him playing for the Angels. He'd be a really good fit there. I think that move could put the Angels. I think that could put him right there.
Yeah, that's true. They got Trout.
Well, of course they got Mike Trout, and they got Shohei.
Oh, he ain't pitching.
What he hitting? And boy, he can hit.
Yeah. You just throw him that breaking ball. You just change the speed too straight.
How's that? I don't think that. What's his name? The new Japanese pitcher that I don't think he's gonna be shit.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Ching-Ming Wong.
Why would the Mariners do that? Like they're obviously in like
they're hoping he's gonna be good and they'll trade him at the All-Star break. That's probably what's gonna happen.
You think he'll start off in the bigs?
Yeah, they always do. Japanese pitchers.
Yeah. Did you say the guy called Mike Francesa and was like, "What are the chances of Bryce Harper or Manny Machado? Why doesn't one of these Japanese teams throw him $300 million?" That's the stupid.
Because it's in Japan.
It's Japan. They want to play against the best players. Why would they go to Japan?
Because they're gonna get like 50 millions a year.
Mike Francesca, gotta love him. So, anything else for the baseball?
No, I think we about wrapped it up. We talked about Alex Bregman standing up to those weenies up in Boston. We had our nice little ignite of our Yankees-Mets rivalry. You'll be seeing a lot more talks like that this coming season. So more drama coming from Pittsburgh's Antonio Brown as he tweeted both at Big Ben and Coach Tomlin yesterday, I believe. I'll read the first tweet and then Cross will read the second. So the first one, this one is about Big Ben. He said, no conflict, just a matter of respect, mutual respect. He has an owner mentality like he can call out anybody, including coaches. Players know, but they can't say anything about it, otherwise they meal ticket gone. Whatever the hell that means. It's a dirty game within a game. So he's just saying that Big Ben basically can do whatever the hell he wants and no one can have any say about it. What do you make of this?
I think I do believe that, but I feel like Big Ben has earned that right. 2-time Super Bowl champion, definite Hall of Famer.
Yeah, definitely Hall of Famer for sure. One of the best quarterbacks of the past 15 years, and I mean he definitely has seniority over AB, and AB probably pushed Big Ben around at times, and Big Ben was just like, "Hey, you just catch the ball."
Yeah, I think we both agree that Antonio Brown needs to grow up. Wherever he ends up next year, he has to just man up and just play. He's one of the best receivers of all time. Well, he's up there.
Well, he's on his way. He's on his way.
Right, yeah, he's just got to play, and he doesn't need any of this nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. He's becoming such a distraction, and he could be up for a suspension to start the year, nonetheless.
And then the second tweet.
This is at Tomlin.
At Mike Tomlin. After the coach tell the team I quit while nursing some bumps, then invite me to watch the show with some guys thinking I quit. I cannot stand that. I'm the bad guy, though we missing postseason. Think about it.
He's definitely got his way with words. He does not care. He'll answer any question you ask him on social media. So this one's at Tomlin saying that he called him a quitter, but he was the one who couldn't lead the team to the postseason. So I don't know. There's no way he's coming back now. This is just like a nail in the coffin. Like the firing shots at team, and I don't think he's done yet.
Mike Tomlin shouldn't be coming back either. He has no control over that locker room, obviously. Yes, he's won a Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean you just let him get free reign. You know, the Giants did that with Coughlin. Yes, Coughlin was older, but they saw like that his time was up and that they needed to move on. I don't know why the Steelers aren't doing that with.
I don't know. I kind of think that was a mistake now.
Yeah. Why, you think Coughlin should still be coaching? He's too old.
Yeah, but no, I'll take that back. I mean, I don't know. McAdoo had some shit that first year. I wonder if that would have been Coughlin, but
you know what's McAdoo was from his first year to second year, how just utterly different it was.
I know. He went 11-5 in his first year after the Giants haven't won that many games in like 10 years, something like that. Or not 10 years, but it was like 7 or 8.
All Giants fans loved him too. They loved his slick back hair, and then by the second
year...
No,
he didn't have the slick back hair. That's what he had slick back hair in the second year. Remember, he just had that poofy thing.
Yeah, once he got that. Yeah, yeah.
I think he kind of got full of himself and thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, we got Brandon Marshall, we're going to be good.
Any other football news we got?
Not that I can think of. There are extension talks, or maybe just a 1-year franchise for Landon Collins. I know he's not going to like to be franchise tagged, so lock the boy up.
Jets side, no, nothing's happening with the Jets.
So that's it.
Yeah, since the hiring of Gase, it's been really quiet. Besides the hiring of Greg Williams.
Yeah, that's true. That was a good move for the Jets, but we'll have to see what the team does on the field.
Jets did hire Jim Bob Cooter as the secondaries coach.
All right, good for the Coots.
Yeah, that's a good name to have as a position coach.
Yeah, I wonder if we ever went to Hooters and like paid, and they're like, "Ooh, your name's Cooter, rounds for Hooters."
Probably.
But besides that, I think that's about football. But moving on to NHL, we have had a visceral betrayal. Cross, who I've known for so long, and I just became a Rangers fan in 2016. He moved down to Florida about, 2 years ago, I would say now. And he went to his first Lightning game, right?
Yeah.
And he texts me and says, Lightning are my new team. And I was just aghast. And then the next day, his Bitmoji on Snapchat, he changed it from the Rangers beanie to the Lightning beanie. I mean, this is just, I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, just thinking that we shared a team together. But I guess not.
All right, hear me out. I still like the Rangers. I really do. I still love the Rangers. But I told you at the beginning of the year, I said I already like too many shitty teams, and I can't afford to invest in the Rangers because I know all they're gonna do is just rip my heart out like all my other teams do. So I said I'm gonna be neutral with hockey this year. I'll watch a little bit, but I'm not gonna get invested. And I went to this Lightning game last night, and boy, or not last night, the other night, it was such a great atmosphere. The fans were great. The arena was awesome. Reed, you're coming down in March, right?
Oh, I'm coming down in March. I'm coming down. We out? I mean, are there any games for the dates we talked about?
I'm sure. We'll look into it. And if there is, which I'm sure there is, me and you, we'll go to this Lightning game. We'll do a live podcast. Live.
And we also want to do this to a Yankees-Mets game this upcoming season.
We'll do a live podcast from the parking lot. We'll bring some beers. We'll get sloshed. We'll talk some hockey. We'll watch the game, and it'll be a great time.
We'll talk some hockey. It'll definitely be fun, and I mean, I can see why it'd be fun going to a Lightning game because they're the best team in the league. So
they are, and the fans. Let me tell you something. Those fans, rowdy. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, when those Tampa Bay teams are good, they go, but when they're not, they don't.
when they're real like front runner fans. Like if they suck, no one will show up. But like if they're good.
Oh yeah, those 2008 through 2011 Rays teams. Wow, those fans came. They were big with that big blowhorn that they had in that stadium. I was scared to play in Tropicana those years. But for my team who I stick with, the New York Rangers. This is kind of seesawing it up, but at least we have, I think, one of the star players in the NHL, Mika Zibanejad. He just... Every goal they score, it seems like he's getting the point in, and he's really their best player by far. And all I'm saying is, I hope they can stay well because I would hate to see Zook go.
Yeah, hey, but we got the Knicks. You seen
the
Kyrie?
The Knicks.
Did you see Kyrie and KD at the All-Star game, chilling, having fun because they know they'll both be on the Knicks together next year.
The Knicks. I mean, the Knicks. Why would they do that?
Why would they get two of the best basketball players?
No, I'm saying obviously the Knicks would want that, but the only way those two come here is if they are able to draft Zion.
Even if they don't draft, I feel like there'd be a better chance of both of them coming if they don't draft Zion.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know my ball, but
neither do I. But I know somewhat of the basketball. But yeah, anything else?
No, I think that's it. Spring training starts Saturday, boy.
Woo!
Let's
Is that
go.
the Yankees game Saturday? I don't even
No,
know.
we don't start till Monday, a week from today. But Saturday's the first spring training game. I think it's on MLB Network, so.
Who's playing?
I think it's the A's against the Mariners.
Oh, so we're gonna see Kyler Murray play for the first time?
Nope. So is he like off the A's now?
I guess. I think he could come back if he wants, but I think he is off. Jeez, what a poor Oakland.
Yep,
Athletic.
poor Oakland, man.
First,
Poor A's.
First they lose their whole football team. Now they lose one of the top prospects in baseball. He's gonna be good. He was gonna be good.
He was gonna be good. I mean, I think he'd be like a solid like Malik Smith.
Really? A little better than that.
I don't know. Malik's, he's got some pop. He's a Yankee killer too.
Speaking of pop, Tim Tebow was hitting bombs with his ugly ass swing. I don't know how he makes contact with the ball. His swing is so ugly.
It is atrocious, as Mad Dog would say.
Yeah, it's fucking. I hope we do not see. The only reason we'll see Tim Tebow up is if the Mets are 50 games under 500 by the time August comes.
Well, he doesn't care what you gotta say, because Tim Tebow, he's gonna live out his dream.
His dream of being a baseball player.
Yep. I love Tim Tebow. He's such a nice guy.
He said, I remember crying in my bed in high school. Pick between baseball or football. He was crying. He said, I had to pick football. But then I sucked at football. At the baseball.
Oh, man. Damn,
what?
dude. You didn't have to do him like that.
He will hit a home run his first at bat in the big leagues.
He'll launch it. It'll freaking go off it'll go into like the Coca-Cola party section.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where I sat when the Yankees and the Rays played at Citi Field.
That'll be Tim Tebow's only career hit. That monster's home run.
He'll hit it and he'll say, "God told me to retire."
Yeah.
And go back to football.
Go back to football, and then the Broncos will pick him back up.
Yep, and they'll win the Super Bowl. All right, I think that's about it. Got anything to add, Cross?
No. Follow us on Twitter.
Yep, follow us on Twitter. He's the @MetsMan19, and I am @2SidesOfNY. I'm 4 followers away from 200, so please help me to that 200 people, please.
Hold on. If anybody is listening right now to the end, because I don't know how many people listen all the way to the end, why the fuck does Reed have so many more fucking followers than me? Fucking follow me too, please?
Yeah, this man's got like tiny followers, and we like follow the same amount of people. I mean, you gotta touch your community, touch your Mets fan base, dude. You gotta I
gotta interact more with Met fans. I don't really talk to Met fans.
Yeah, you gotta interact more. I mean, I don't fight with Yankee fans, but I call fans that say ridiculous things out all the time.
The last few days, you have been throwing some shade at Yankee fans, though.
Because they're acting like we're throwing out dog shit out there just because we didn't sign Machado. Dude, we still have a World Series team that got better. Calm your engines, people. Or people, they're saying, oh, if they don't get Machado or Harper, I'm not spending any money on tickets. I'm not going to go to any games. What?
Yankees fans are oh, Didi Gregorius is our opening day shortstop. Canceled. Exactly,
and he's not even going to be there till August.
You think he's not going to play till August?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping a miracle. He comes back by June, but I say it'll be right before the All-Star break.
Poor Didi.
Poor Didi, man. I hope Tulo can I know he's not going to be Colorado Tulo, but just give me 280. Give me 280 and 9 bombs for while Didi's gone.
Tulowitzki's not going to hit 280.
That's why I'm saying I'm hoping.
Well, you make it a prayer because it ain't happening.
See, that's what they said about Aaron Judge, his first call up My man's hit 178 with 74 strikeouts and 100 at bat. No, it was 70. It was 46.
That's different though. That's different though. We didn't know what he was capable of yet. We know that Troy Tulowitzki just doesn't have it anymore.
Okay, but everyone thought CC was done when he went through rehab in 2015 with that 4.71 ERA, and since then he's had an ERA under 4 each season.
This guy Reed used to be the worst Tulo hater. Now look at him, loving him up.
I mean, I'm gonna love anyone who wears those pinstripes, but if the decision comes to release him, well, screw him. Why the heck did we even pick him up then? Alright, people. Alright, we'll see you for our first little spring training talk. Hopefully, no one, gets hit or something, or bad, and maybe Harper will be a Philly by then, or Machado will be a
White Sox.
I'm sorry. I don't think he's going there.
So, wait.
I don't care. I don't really give a fuck where he goes, honestly.
Alright.
I just want him to sign. I honestly don't care if they're not signed by opening day. I really don't.
I don't know what MLB The Show is going to do when their cover athletes...
Yeah, they're going to have to freaking have Harper in that little hoodie.
That gray hoodie.
Yep, looking like a weenie. But, alright. Next episode will be even more lit than this one. Well, maybe, because that was a pretty fun debate. Or not debate, but argument over my pitcher throwing shade. Well, not really throwing shade, just answering a question. And then Mets fans were triggered. I loved it. I thought it was really entertaining watching them freak out.
Well, Sevy got triggered because he walked the whole thing back. He said, no. I love Jacob deGrom.
You know why? Because I bet you Judge was like, Sevy, that was not nice to say, and now you're going to catch a lot of flack for it. I would take it back. You think that's what happened?
No, I don't know.
Alright, peace!
Peace.